The 2026 Fiat 500 proves that bigger is not always better. In a world where electric vehicles seem to grow larger and more expensive with every new generation, this charming little hatchback takes a completely different approach. It embraces simplicity, compact dimensions, and city-focused practicality while wrapping everything in a design that instantly stands out from the crowd. The moment you see it, there is no mistaking what it is. The familiar rounded shape, friendly appearance, and unmistakable Italian character make it one of the most recognizable electric vehicles on the road today. What makes the Fiat especially interesting is that it does not try to be everything for everyone. Many manufacturers are chasing longer driving ranges, larger batteries, and greater performance figures. The 2026 Fiat 500 instead focuses on a very specific mission. It is designed for people who spend most of their time navigating busy streets, squeezing into tight parking spaces, and making short daily journeys around town. Rather than competing directly with larger electric sport utility vehicles, it creates its own niche by offering a stylish and efficient solution for urban mobility. That philosophy becomes clear as soon as you get behind the wheel. The compact exterior dimensions make the vehicle exceptionally easy to maneuver through crowded streets. Whether you are weaving through traffic, making tight turns, or searching for parking in a busy downtown district, the Fiat feels perfectly at home. Drivers who regularly face congested city conditions will immediately appreciate how stress-free it can be to operate such a small vehicle. Parking spaces that seem impossible for larger vehicles suddenly become easy opportunities. The exterior design continues to be one of the Fiat's strongest selling points. While many electric vehicles adopt futuristic styling that can feel cold or overly aggressive, the 500 remains playful and approachable. Its rounded bodywork, distinctive lighting elements, and carefully sculpted details give it a personality that many competitors simply cannot match. There is a sense of charm here that goes beyond specifications and performance figures. It is a vehicle that people notice and remember. Despite its compact footprint, the Fiat still manages to project a premium impression. The styling feels thoughtful rather than inexpensive, and every curve appears intentionally designed. This attention to visual appeal helps justify its position in the marketplace, especially for buyers who value style as much as practicality. In many ways, the 500e is as much a fashion statement as it is a means of transportation. Power comes from a single electric motor driving the front wheels, producing 117 horsepower. The setup may not sound particularly exciting on paper, but the instant torque delivery typical of electric vehicles helps the Fiat feel lively during everyday driving. Around town, acceleration feels responsive and immediate. Traffic lights, city intersections, and short merging situations are handled with confidence, allowing the vehicle to keep pace with surrounding traffic without difficulty. The driving experience emphasizes comfort and ease rather than outright speed. Steering feels light, which is beneficial in urban environments where constant maneuvering is required. The compact size also contributes to a feeling of agility that larger electric vehicles often struggle to achieve. Drivers can place the vehicle precisely on the road, making even crowded streets feel manageable. Fiat has equipped the 500 with multiple driving modes that allow the vehicle's behavior to adapt to different situations. A standard setting delivers balanced performance for everyday use, while range-focused modes prioritize efficiency and battery conservation. These settings can be particularly useful for drivers attempting to maximize available driving distance. The most aggressive efficiency mode adjusts several vehicle functions to extract every possible mile from the battery. One of the highlights of the driving experience is the regenerative braking system. In its strongest setting, the system allows for near one-pedal driving. Once drivers become familiar with the feature, much of the daily driving experience can be managed through careful modulation of the accelerator pedal alone. This not only improves efficiency but also contributes to a smoother and more relaxing driving experience in stop-and-go traffic. Ride quality reflects the Fiat's urban priorities. The suspension is firm enough to maintain stability and responsiveness, yet it remains comfortable during everyday commuting. On lower-speed city roads, the cabin remains pleasantly quiet, allowing occupants to enjoy conversations or entertainment without excessive road noise. This refinement enhances the premium feel of the vehicle and reinforces its role as an ideal city companion. The interior continues the theme established by the exterior. Rather than feeling purely functional, the cabin incorporates stylish design elements that create a welcoming atmosphere. A sweeping trim piece stretches across the dashboard, while textured materials help add visual interest throughout the interior. The design feels modern without becoming overly complicated, ensuring that essential controls remain accessible and easy to understand. Technology also plays an important role in the overall experience. A large infotainment display serves as the centerpiece of the dashboard, providing access to navigation, media functions, vehicle information, and connectivity features. The interface is modern and responsive, helping drivers stay connected while on the move. A digital instrument display provides important information directly in front of the driver, including speed and battery status. Wireless smartphone integration further enhances convenience. Modern drivers expect seamless connectivity, and the Fiat delivers by allowing compatible devices to connect without cables. A wireless charging pad adds another layer of practicality, ensuring that smartphones remain powered throughout daily journeys. The overall atmosphere inside the cabin feels cheerful and distinctive, unlike some competitors that prioritize minimalism to the point of sterility. The Fiat embraces character. Every detail seems intended to create a positive emotional connection with the driver and passengers. It is this personality that helps separate the 500s from many other electric vehicles currently available. Yet the Fiat's compact dimensions inevitably require compromise. While the front seats provide a comfortable environment for occupants, available space is limited compared with larger vehicles. Taller passengers may notice the cozy nature of the cabin, and those accustomed to spacious family vehicles will quickly recognize that this hatchback serves a different purpose. The emphasis here is on efficiency, maneuverability, and urban practicality rather than maximum passenger accommodation. Even with these limitations, the 2026 Fiat 500 succeeds in delivering a distinctive experience that few competitors can replicate. It combines attractive styling, city-friendly dimensions, enjoyable driving characteristics, and modern technology into a package designed specifically for urban life. Rather than chasing trends, it remains focused on its core mission. And that focus gives the vehicle a unique identity in an increasingly crowded electric vehicle market. Continuing from its role as a city-focused electric hatchback, the 2026 Fiat 500 also makes a very deliberate statement about range, charging, and real-world usability. This is not a vehicle designed to erase distances between cities or encourage long highway journeys. Instead, it is engineered around the idea of predictable daily routines. Where most trips are short, repetitive, and centered around urban living, that design philosophy shapes almost every aspect of its battery and charging behavior. The battery pack is relatively small compared to many modern electric vehicles, and that choice is intentional. It helps keep the vehicle light, compact, and more affordable than larger electric alternatives. The result is a driving range that sits well within the expectations of a city car, but falls short when compared to long-distance focused electric vehicles. For daily commuting, school runs, grocery trips, and short work journeys, it performs comfortably within its intended limits. However, drivers who frequently travel long distances will quickly notice its restrictions. On paper, the driving range sits in the lower end of the electric vehicle spectrum. In real-world usage, especially at consistent highway speeds, the usable distance becomes even more limited. This reinforces the idea that the Fiat is not meant to be a primary long-distance vehicle. Instead, it thrives when used in environments where charging is easily accessible and trips are predictable. Charging speed is another area where the Fiat clearly prioritizes simplicity over cutting-edge performance. At fast charging stations, it is capable of replenishing its battery, but the process is not among the quickest in its class. While it can recover a useful amount of range in a relatively short stop, a full charge from low to high state of charge takes longer than many newer electric vehicles. This means that planning becomes important, especially if the vehicle is used beyond its typical city-based role. For drivers with home charging access, the experience becomes far more convenient. Plugging in overnight allows the battery to recover fully without any disruption to daily life. In this scenario, the limitations of fast charging become less important, since the vehicle is essentially reset each morning. This is where the 500 makes the most sense, operating as a reliable companion for predictable urban schedules. Efficiency is one of the stronger points of the vehicle. Even though the battery is small, the car is designed to extract as much usable range as possible from every charge. Regenerative braking plays a significant role here, recovering energy during deceleration and stop and go traffic. This is particularly useful in congested urban environments where frequent braking is unavoidable. Over time, these small energy recoveries contribute to extending real-world driving distance. The driving experience remains consistent with its city-focused design. Acceleration is smooth and immediate, but not overwhelming. It provides enough performance to merge confidently into traffic and navigate busy intersections without hesitation. While it will not satisfy drivers looking for high-performance acceleration, it delivers exactly what its intended environment demands. The balance between responsiveness and efficiency feels carefully tuned for everyday usability rather than excitement. One of the most noticeable characteristics during driving is how relaxed the vehicle feels at lower speeds. The compact dimensions allow it to move through traffic with ease, and visibility is generally good for such a small hatchback. Parking becomes almost effortless, which is one of its strongest practical advantages. In dense urban areas where parking space is limited and expensive, this convenience alone can significantly improve daily driving satisfaction. However, as speeds increase, the limitations of the design become more apparent. On highways, the cabin can feel less composed compared with larger and more expensive electric vehicles. Road noise becomes more noticeable, and the compact wheelbase does not deliver the same level of stability that longer vehicles provide. This reinforces its role as a city specialist rather than a highway cruiser. Inside the cabin, the focus remains on style and simplicity. The layout is modern and visually appealing, with design elements that reflect the vehicle's playful personality. The dashboard design incorporates smooth shapes and contemporary materials that elevate the perception of quality. While it is not a large interior, it feels thoughtfully arranged, making good use of the available space. Seating comfort in the front is adequate for daily use. The seats provide reasonable support for short to medium journeys. Although the compact nature of the vehicle means that space is naturally limited, taller occupants may find headroom and legroom somewhat restricted compared with larger hatchbacks or sport utility vehicles. Still, for its intended urban purpose, the seating arrangement remains functional and comfortable enough. The rear seating area is best understood as occasional use space rather than full-time passenger accommodation. It can technically fit passengers, but comfort is significantly compromised on longer journeys. In many real-world scenarios, the rear area is more practical for carrying small items such as bags or groceries. This reinforces the idea that the vehicle is designed primarily for one or two occupants rather than full family transport. Cargo space is modest, but usable for everyday errands. grocery shopping, small luggage, and typical urban cargo needs can be handled without difficulty. Larger items require folding the rear seats, which expands the usable area, but still reflects the compact nature of the vehicle. The loading space is not designed for heavy-duty hauling, but it is sufficient for the lifestyle it targets. Technology integration continues to be a strong point. The infotainment system is centered around a large touchscreen interface that supports modern smartphone connectivity. This allows drivers to access navigation, music, and communication features with ease. The system is designed to reduce complexity, keeping interactions simple and intuitive rather than overwhelming the driver with excessive menus or settings. Safety features are also included to support everyday driving. Basic driver assistance systems help with collision prevention and lane guidance, adding an extra layer of confidence in urban traffic. While it does not offer the most advanced semi-autonomous systems found in premium electric vehicles, it provides a solid foundation of safety technology appropriate for its class. When viewed as a whole, the 2026 Fiat 500 presents a clear and focused identity. It is not attempting to compete with long-range electric vehicles or high-performance electric sport utility vehicles. Instead, it embraces a specific lifestyle centered around compact urban mobility. Its strengths lie in ease of use, parking convenience, stylish design, and efficient city driving. At the same time, its limitations are equally clear. Limited interior space, restricted driving range, and slower charging speeds mean it is not suitable for every driver. But within its intended role, it delivers a coherent and enjoyable experience that prioritizes practicality in dense city environments over versatility across all driving conditions. As the 2026 Fiat 500 comes into its final impression, it becomes clear that this is not a vehicle trying to impress with scale or dominance. Instead, it relies on character, purpose, and a very specific understanding of what urban mobility should feel like in an electric age. It is a car that makes sense when viewed through the lens of city life, where short journeys, tight streets, and constant stopping and starting define the daily rhythm of driving. Living with the Fiat over time reveals both its strengths and its compromises in equal measure. The biggest strength is its effortless urban usability. Few vehicles make city driving feel as relaxed and unintimidating as this one. Its compact size transforms congested roads into manageable spaces, and parking situations that would normally be stressful become routine. This ease of use is not just a convenience, it fundamentally changes how drivers interact with their environment. The character of the vehicle also plays a major role in its appeal. It is rare in the modern electric vehicle market to find something that feels genuinely playful. Many electric vehicles are designed to look futuristic or aggressive, but the Fiat maintains a friendly and approachable personality. This emotional quality should not be underestimated, as it creates a stronger connection between driver and machine than specifications alone can achieve. However, practicality is where the balance becomes more complex. The limited interior space means that this is not a vehicle designed for full-time family use. It works best when occupied by one or two people, with occasional use of the rear seats when necessary. The compact cabin reinforces its identity as a city-focused machine, but it also limits its versatility compared with larger electric hatchbacks or sport utility vehicles. The driving range continues to be one of the most defining factors in how the Fiat is experienced. It is perfectly adequate for daily commuting and local travel, but it requires a level of planning for anything beyond that. Drivers who are used to the freedom of longer-range electric vehicles may find themselves more conscious of charging habits and trip length. This is not necessarily a flaw, but rather a reflection of its design priorities. Charging behavior further reinforces this identity. While it can use fast charging stations, it does not deliver the rapid replenishment speeds seen in more advanced electric platforms. This means that long-distance travel requires patience and planning. For some users, this will be a significant limitation. For others, particularly those with home charging access and predictable routines, it will rarely become an issue in everyday life. Performance remains consistent with the vehicle's philosophy. It is not built for excitement in the traditional sense, but it delivers enough responsiveness to feel confident and smooth in urban environments. Acceleration is immediate in typical electric vehicle fashion, and the vehicle feels nimble in traffic. The focus is clearly on usability rather than thrill-seeking, and within that context it performs well. One of the most important aspects of the Fiat 500e is how it fits into ownership patterns. It works best not as a primary vehicle for every situation, but as a second or even third vehicle in a household. In that role, it becomes an ideal companion for city errands, commuting, and short trips where efficiency and ease of parking matter more than long-distance capability. This positioning is key to understanding its value. The interior experience supports this usage model. While space is limited, the design ensures that the environment feels pleasant rather than cramped in a negative sense. Materials, shapes, and layout all contribute to a sense of style that elevates the experience beyond pure utility. It is a cabin that feels intentionally designed for short, enjoyable journeys rather than extended travel. Technology integration continues to support modern expectations. Connectivity features, digital displays, and smartphone integration ensure that drivers remain connected and informed. These systems are not overly complex, which helps maintain focus on driving rather than menu navigation. The simplicity of the interface aligns well with the vehicle's overall philosophy. Safety systems provide an additional layer of reassurance, especially in dense urban environments where unexpected situations are common. Features such as emergency braking and lane support help reduce stress during everyday driving. While not the most advanced suite available in the electric vehicle market, it is sufficient for the environment the vehicle is intended to operate in. When considering the broader market, the Fiat occupies a very specific niche. It does not compete directly with larger electric hatchbacks or long-range electric sport utility vehicles. Instead, it stands apart as a lifestyle-focused city car that prioritizes design, compactness, and ease of use. This makes it appealing to a particular type of driver who values convenience and personality over maximum practicality. Its limitations, however, are equally important to acknowledge. The short driving range, limited rear seating space, and slower charging speeds mean that it will not suit every lifestyle. Drivers who frequently travel long distances or require maximum passenger capacity will find it restrictive. But for those who understand its purpose and operate within its intended environment, these limitations become less significant. Ultimately, the 2026 Fiat 500 succeeds by being honest about what it is. It does not pretend to be a long-range touring vehicle or a high-performance electric machine. Instead, it focuses on delivering a refined and enjoyable urban driving experience. It brings together style, compactness, and electric efficiency in a way that feels cohesive and intentional. In a market filled with increasingly large and complex electric vehicles, the Fiat stands out by doing less, but doing it with clarity. It is a reminder that sometimes the most effective solution is not the most powerful or the most advanced, but the one that fits perfectly into a specific way of life. For city driving, short commutes, and everyday errands, it offers a uniquely charming and practical approach to electric mobility.